Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer, y'all. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and as you can see, let's see if we can mark our gathering spot. This is a 30-minute chart. Price is just trading in this range. We have pre-market support around the $22.40 area, and resistance is around, let's say, this area of $22.59. Here is where price is trading as of now. So where are the trouble places for the VIX? It would definitely need to break. Right now, that 5 EMA is kind of holding us up. We would definitely need to get back above that 22.59, and if we should break that level, 22.82, and if we break the 22.82, 23.03, and if we should break that level, 23.21, it's going to be an area of resistance for the VIX. Now, the VIX is an inside day candle, and we'll get to that. So if by chance we break under this level here of 22.39, we could possibly come down and find support, let's say around the 22.26 area, 22.27 area. So I'll definitely watch that for the VIX. If we should break that level, we can come back and retest 22.03, which will be our support area, the 50 EMA, and this 21.99. So I'll definitely watch this area also for the VIX. Now, if we lose this, we could very well come back and find support at 21.81. If we lose the 21.81, 21.51, and the 21.45. I did mention that it is an inside day candle. So if by chance to the upside, if we break above 23.11, the price target for the VIX is 23.42, and if we should break under 21.15 to the downside target is 21.21. Again, the VIX is an inside day candle, and the reason that I look at the VIX is because it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY, and the SPY too is an inside day candle. We'll get to that also. So if you look at the SPY right now, it's been trading really sideways in this zone here. We went up only to get rejected here and come back down. So price still came back to this area of support, or bouncing off of that 571.05. So I would definitely watch that area. That was just something I needed to point out. So where are the trouble places for the SPY? Considering this was our zone here, pre-market support was around the 571.58 area. Resistance was here at 572.12. We broke past that only to make a high of 572.74, got rejected and came back down. So I always say, where are the trouble places? As of right now, SPY would need to get back above this level here of 572.14, and if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble at the 572.35, 572.55, 572.88, 573. That was a previous gathering spot here. Beyond the 573, we could have trouble again at 573.31, 573.46, 573.70, and it could bring us to the ATR trailing stop that's forming here at 573.82. So those are going to be trouble places or resistance for the SPY to the upside. I'm going to zoom back out. So to the downside, if by chance we break under 571.45, we could possibly find support at 571.21, 571.05, 570.83, 570.35, 570.07. Now, if we should lose the 570.07 area, we have a lot of support areas at this, let's say 569.87, 569.73, 569.38, and 569.21. Those are going to be places that we could very well find support and bounce back to the upside. I did mention that the SPY is an inside day candle. Let me make sure. Yes, so if by chance the SPY break back to the upside above 575.52, we have an upside target for the SPY at 575.63. Now to the downside, if we break under 570.62, we have a downside target for the SPY here at 568.44. So if you trade the SPY today, trade carefully. I always say, y'all, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So again, SPY closed at 571.04, and we're not far from that now. So again, it's trading in this zone. So let's go to Tesla just to see where we are today. Tesla closed at 248.98, and our support was here at 243.83, and resistance is around, let's say, 244.59. It looks like we're trying to break beyond that place, right? So we broke out of a gathering spot here only to try to move back to the upside. So I always say, where are the trouble places, right? So looking at Tesla to the upside, we could possibly have trouble here at the 245.72, 245.96, 246.26, and 246.55. If we should break the 246.55, 246.85, and if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble right where this ATR trailing stop is at 248.12. If we break the 248.12, 248.34, and again at 249.05, those are going to be trouble places to the upside, or resistance areas for, or possible resistance areas for Tesla today. Now, let's look to the downside. If by chance we come back under this level of 243.77, we can find support at 243.19, 242.57, 241.85, 240.72. Now, if we break that 240.72 area for Tesla, we can come back to 239.50, and again at 238.29. Tesla normally exceeds its ATR for the day, so let's see how much that ATR is as of right now for Tesla. Disregard this daily chart, $10.16, and that could be in either direction for Tesla. So again, I say trade carefully. Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. And I need to mention, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale, because when I'm in the trade, I need to know where my trouble places are. And I do look at the wider scale, but more often I look at the smaller scale. So we are now looking at AMD. It closed at 141.86, and as you can see, this is our gathering spot. Price has been in this range here. Support is around 141.80, resistance around 142.23. Now, where are the trouble places? If we break back to the upside above the 142.23 area, we could possibly have trouble at 142.40, 142.64. If we break the 142.64, 143.07. If we break the 143.07, we could possibly have trouble here. And in my opinion, this is going to be a lot of resistance here. It's the 50 EMA, the ATR trailing stop, and a previous resistance or support area that we had marked at 143.69. So I would set my alert above the 143.69 for AMD. If we should break that, we've broken through some layers of resistance. Now, where's the next level of resistance for AMD? I would say the 144.60, around that area. If we break the 144.60, we could possibly have trouble. Wait, let's see here, at 145.63. If we break 145.63, 146.58. Those are going to be trouble places or resistance areas for AMD to the upside. Now, to the downside, and again, it's trading in this zone, the support area here of 141.80. I would definitely watch this 141.80. Under that, we can possibly come back and find support here, 141.03, 140.52, 139.97. Now, if we break the 139.97 area, 139.97 area, let's see, 140.52, 139.97. If we break that, we can come back to a previous gathering spot around 139.11 and 138.61. So those are going to be trouble places for support, or support and resistance for AMD to the upside. And to the downside, again, it's been trading in this zone here, as we can see. So if you trade AMD today, I say trade carefully. Let's go to NVDA just to see where we are today. NVDA closed at 135.40, and it too is an inside day candle. So what's interesting is pre-market, this is our 4 o'clock candle. We made a high of 139.88. Again, we closed at 135.40. So that's interesting. So where are the trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now? As of now, it would need to get back above the 200 EMA and the 5 EMA. So it would, I would say, above the 138.31. We could possibly have trouble at 138.58. Again at 138.75. If we break the 138.75, 139.12, 139.72, 140.08, 140.33, and again here at 140.64. Those are going to be trouble places for NVIDIA to the upside. Now, to the downside, under this level of 137.67, we can find support at 137.46. Again here at 137.27. Under 137.27, 137.14, and then again at 136.98. Under the 136.98, 136.67, 136.42. If we lose that 136.42, 136.02, and then the ATR trail and stop, which is here at 135.87. Now under the 135.87, we had 135.67 marked as a support area. So if we should lose that, 135.38, under 135.38, 134.90. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for NVIDIA. And I mentioned that it is an inside day target, which we have already reached the target to the upside. The trigger was 137.27 and the target to the upside was 137.67. Again, we've made a pre-market high of 139.88. Now, can we come back to the downside? Absolutely. Back to the downside under 134.52. The downside target for NVIDIA is 132.11. So if you trade NVIDIA today, y'all know I always say trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we do have a lot of inside day candles. I made a previous video for that. So if you're interested, please check that out. We are now looking at Apple, and I'm just going to mark the gathering spot for Apple as of right now. So as you can see, price has been, let's say, in this area here. And if I mark it here, you probably, yes. So price has been in this area for Apple here and here. So that is a support area for us at that 221 range. Now, the resistance area is around, let's see, around this area of 222. So Apple was trading in this zone, is what I like to say. I'm going to try to get that off. Apple was trading in this zone here. Now, where are the trouble places? As of right now, it would definitely need to get back above the 20 EMA here, which is at 222.09. If we should break that level for Apple, 223.03. If we break the 223.03, 223.38. If we should break that level, 223.84, which is right where that ATR trail and stop is. So above the 223.84, we could possibly have trouble at 224.25. Again at 224.55. and 224.94. Those are going to be trouble places for Apple to the upside. So I would definitely watch those areas. Now, can we come back to the downside? Absolutely. Just know we could possibly have trouble at 221.39 and again under this 221 area. If we break the 221, I will watch the 220.27. So if you trade Apple today, just know that it is trading in a zone as of right now, and this has been a previous gathering spot, so we could very well bounce from here back to the upside or continue declining. So today should be a very, very interesting day in the market. Let's see, we do have earnings the only for today or this week, let's say that. And what's interesting is Palantir is after hours today. So if you trade any of these today, I would say be careful because we do have some earnings that will report after the market and before the market. So I'm going to look at Netflix really, really quick just to see where we are. And Netflix is trading in here, this zone here. We have resistance or support here at 755.91 and resistance around the 757.09. So if you trade Netflix, I would definitely watch those areas. If we break the 757.09, we could possibly have trouble at 758.32. Beyond the 758.32, 758.97. And if we should break that 760.81, if we break the 760.81, we could possibly have trouble around the 763.09. Now to the downside, under 755.91, we could possibly have trouble at 754.75, again at 753.87, which is right where that 200 EMA. So that's the ATR trail and stop and the 200 EMA for Netflix. We could possibly have trouble, so I will definitely watch those areas. Now, if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble at 752.31. I will watch that level for Netflix, and Netflix is an inside week, so this is a weekly target for Netflix that I'm about to say. If by chance we break above the target of 763.88, we have a weekly target for Netflix at 773. If by chance we break under 747.77, the downside target for Netflix for the week is 744.26. So if you trade Netflix, trade carefully. It is an inside week candle. So I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see where we are. And it looks as if the SPY is having a little trouble moving back to the upside. So y'all, again, tomorrow is election day, and on, it's going to be an interesting week with the election and with the Fed rate decision is on Thursday. So we have a lot of interesting things that will happen in the market. Again, trade what you see, and once it goes against your why, get out. So make sure you set your stop losses, or if you don't use the stop loss, do the mental loss. Whatever you choose to use, just make sure you have the discipline to execute that, y'all. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.